gonna keep drinking this, and every time I take a sip, I'm gonna make a face. It's not good.
This is like what's the opposite of an endorsement?
I know, I'm not even gonna show what it is. Unless you can't use it away. It's really good at first, and then it's not good.
I mean, but it's better than like medicine. So if like CBD is your jam,
Yeah.
I guess it's like an okay delivery system.
The more I drink it, the less it offends me. I think it's like kombucha.
I fucking hate kombucha.
See, I like kombucha. It was like what out like whiskey or beer. It's an acquired taste.
I like whiskey and beer.
Yeah, but both of those are acquired tastes as well. You didn't the very first time you had a sip of
No,
whiskey.
but I liked what it did to me, so I muscled through. No, my first alcoholic beverages were like Smirnoff Ice and fucking Malibu rum.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah. So
baby booze.
So many wine coolers.
Zima.
And like then there was a phase there where they started coming out with the like Jack Daniels like
oh
punch,
yeah, like
whatever.
everybody had like their own version of fucking whatever that malt liquor
yes like
sweet drink
oh
was
god
for the ladies.
Yep.
I can't believe, it's really funny to me, like, I can't believe that Smirnoff Ice has, like, made a comeback. Like,
I know, everybody does the...
icing yours?
Yeah,
people?
icing or ice challenge.
Yeah,
or,
I have no idea. They had a resurgence.
Yeah. So I was finally finished uploading all of the web series, the old web series to the YouTube, and I was, like, making thumbnails for that, too, and I'm like... These are very different than the TikTok thumbnails.
I know, right?
I was like, oh man.
I mean, we were a lot younger.
I mean, it wasn't even that. It was just like hair, makeup, and lights. Like,
well, that's true too.
Like
the lighting in here does leave a bit to be desired. So you uploaded all of the episodes to YouTube?
I got every episode up. It took a little while. Randomly, they have views, which.
Okay.
I thought was interesting. I mean, like, none, but...
well, right, yeah.
But that, like someone that
someone
we don't know...
out in the world
yeah.
stumbled upon this web series.
Yeah. With zero information that it was even up or going up.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's been around, obviously, for years.
It has.
When did we... Do you know what year? We were still living in the Lower East Side, and we moved here in 2016.
Oh, okay.
So 2015?
I mean, that would be when we, like, probably finished season 2. Oh my god, that's like 8 years ago.
Yeah, we would have finished it in 2015. Wow. Yeah.
That is a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. That's crazy.
That is crazy. But, I mean, let's think about it. Like, there was a pandemic in there.
Yeah. We're on strike now.
It's just like an endless litany of shit.
Yeah, it really is. Just like
hit me again! Like, what is this?
I know, it's just none.
Ugh.
Stop.
Like, kick a girl while she's down. Jeez.
Oh, God. But, hey, go watch the web series.
Oh, yeah, please. It's actually cute. No, it's cute. It actually, like, I liked it more than I thought I would, because I was over at a friend's place.
Oh, right.
Granted, there had been some drinks involved.
Right.
So that eases the pain of having to see yourself on camera.
Yeah.
But we ended up watching the whole thing. And she really liked it.
Season 1 and 2?
Yeah.
I've only rewatched season 1. I have to rewatch season 2.
Oh, season 2 is much better. Hang in there through season 1, because season 2 is like takes it to another level.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch season 2 because season 1 I had a really fun time rewatching. Like it's definitely there are some things in it that are dated a little bit, but not
it wasn't too bad. No.
It didn't feel for being something that we made back in 2015, 2014, 2013.
Seriously,
God.
season 1 was probably around then, yeah. Probably like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Would
Because
be
we did,
my guess.
when we filmed it back to back. Like, we were in Peru.
I don't know, how did we do so much shit in a day back then?
I mean, I was working 2 jobs, and we were filming season 1 while in pre-production for season 2.
Yeah,
And then as soon as we wrapped season 1, we went basically straight into production on season 2.
yeah, because we were looking at cuts of season 1 while we were shooting in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were...
Because, we were in post on season 1, shooting season 2 at the same time.
That was...
And then we basically ended up putting both of them through post at the same time.
Pretty much.
Like,
it was, like, really back to back.
Yeah. Well, we also, like, once some people got involved, we were able to, like, do an actual real, like, color session and, like, post sound and ADR and all of that. So we were able to do both of those seasons at the same time. So that worked out really well, too.
Yeah. Yeah, but that, I mean, because that means that we were filming season 1, writing season 2.
Yeah.
Acting in it, sometimes directing it ourselves.
Yeah. Producing the whole entire thing.
That's kind of nuts.
We were art directing, we were costume designing, we
did everything.
We did everything.
And we did it under SAG contract, so we were doing paperwork too.
Yeah.
No wonder I was so tired back then.
Yeah.
What's my excuse now?
Right.
Old age.
Yeah. Starting to settle in.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That makes me tired just thinking about
I know. Like, I was trying to think too, like, because we were talking about our writing process, and like the fact that we were writing season 2 while doing all of that, like, I think at that point had like such a, like, kind of, I don't know what the word is, but like we had it like on such lockdown that we just knew our process so well.
Yeah.
And
I think also too, it's like, it's really helpful because like when we write together, we do so much like work together in the beginning so that we know the characters very, very well.
Yeah.
And so we can hand it back and forth. So it's like, if you're busy with like post stuff, I can just write the next scene until I hit a wall, and then
then we hand it
back and forth. So it's like we can pick up the slack pretty seamlessly. I don't know how other like writing partnerships work.
I mean, I think also the fact that we sit down together and like before we even start writing and bullet point everything and like basically have the entire script in short form.
I mean, we have our crazy diner session.
Yeah, where we just
show up with like spend like 5 hours in a diner with like legal pads and laptops.
Yeah,
and just
have it all. So the second you start writing, you know what's coming next.
Well, and I think it's also, we're really lucky in that we found someone who has a similar voice.
Right.
So it's like, once we get to that point, it really isn't about like, write like me or I'll write like you. Like, we do write similarly. I mean, there's some differences, but like, I can tell most of the time. But like, my mom can't tell, and she's a professional writer and has read my stuff since forever, and she doesn't know what you've written or what I've written.
Yeah, I think that we both like, and I think that also goes back to like all the prep that we do, in that like we've really talked out like who these characters are, what the backstory is, like what like the very detailed plot of the script, like where we want each scene to go and why. And that's just, for the first draft.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't, even begin to touch on rewrites and
oh my god.
And
where you kill your babies.
Yeah, and you basically
make it bleed.
Start all over. I'm really we've talked about this before, the Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah.
His technique.
I want to try that, but it's kind of terrifying.
Right? So he writes a script and then throws it away, basically, and tries to rewrite it.
Yeah, like a year later or whatever.
Yeah, and whatever he remembers is important and stays, and whatever he's forgotten it doesn't matter. That is terrifying to me.
I mean, I think I could do it, but I don't think I could, like, actually get rid of the first draft. You know?
Yeah, I think I would want to go back and reference it at some point.
I would rewrite it without referencing
I would
it.
cheat.
But
then I would go back and look and just see, like, what did I miss, and is there anything in here that I actually really love?
Or, like, maybe kind of, like, another, like, an offshoot that's, like, a little closer to what he does. Maybe it's something you love, but it doesn't belong in that script. But you can still save it for something else. Because maybe it's not for this project.
That's
because there is something about, because my mom is an author, and she always said, like, she would say things kind of similar to that, in that, like, if something, like, didn't get backed up and got erased or whatever, she's had stuff happen where that's happened and it's, like, a fucking nightmare because you poured your blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Yeah.
And she's, like, agonized over it, and then she got it back once somehow. They were able to recover the original, and she said it was almost word for word the same.
That's crazy.
So there is something to be said about the fact that, like, if it's supposed to be in there, you'll remember it.
Yeah.
And she ended up liking, like, the small changes to the new one better.
Oh, that's really interesting.
And so she kind of, like, stopped worrying about it so much. I mean, obviously it's time.
Yeah.
So you don't want that to happen.
Right. But and obviously big difference in page count of a novel versus a script.
Oh yeah, she writes, like, books that are 100,000 words. Like, they're, like, 300-400 pages long. I don't know how the fuck she, like, keeps it all straight in her head. I'm rereading one of her books right now. And it's crazy. Like, how does she, like, keep it all together? I've read it before, and I literally, things are popping up, and I'm like, I totally forgot that this was even in this book, because there's so many, like, side plots, and, like...
Does she do the index card method on the wall?
I don't even know. I don't even remember, but, like, she would do, like, extensive outlines. She would have, like, big, like, butcher paper.
Oh, okay.
And, like, write it all out and, like, figure it out. I don't know if she ever did index cards, but she would, because she would write romance novels, right? But you know those, like, sliding closet doors?
Yes.
Okay, so they have, like, two, right?
Yeah.
So one of them would be for the male lead character, and she would pick, like, a famous person, and she would cut out a bunch of pictures from magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
And put them up, so she would have, like, a visual reference of what this guy looks like. And then the other one was for the female lead.
Right.
And so, like, if there was ever, like, where she needed to describe them, or, like, looking at the pictures and, like, just thinking, like, how would that character react?
Right.
Like, giving herself, like, a real person. But, I mean, I know that she planned out the plots. Definitely, you would have to. Like, they're so, like, convoluted. But yeah, I remember the big butcher paper, but, like, I don't remember if she did it. I think it might have been Post-its involved.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've used the index card method, and I've not used it. I really, basically, you just, on each index card, are writing
a scene.
I have recently adapted, and I don't know who originally came up with this, but it's basically like the reverse index card method. So you, instead of, like, it's kind of taking our process of developing and sitting there for, you know, an entire day or several days.
Yeah, let's be real.
Yeah.
There's several of those 5-hour diner sessions.
But in those sessions, like, and this is what I'm taking out of it, is you're coming up with a scene and you're writing each scene on an index card before you write the script, instead of, like, after you write the script, making the index cards. So you're writing these index cards, and then when you hit 75, you've got a feature, and then you take those index cards of all these scenes you've written. So sometimes it's like, what the way I'm doing it too is, I might get an idea for a scene, but I don't know where in the story it's going to go yet.
Right, yeah.
But this is definitely something I want to write, index card. So then as I'm like compiling those, I'm starting to now, I haven't hit my goal length yet.
Right.
But I'm at like 25 or something like that.
Okay, I was going to ask, how far are you?
Yeah, I'm like probably around 25. I haven't counted recently.
Okay.
Because I just come up with an idea, jot it down, like come up, and then every once in a while go and kind of reorganize it into like how I think it's gonna, lay out. And when I hit my target scenes, then I'm gonna sit down and write. And I'm kind of really excited about it because it's kind of like our process.
Right. My popcorn brain is erupting.
But, like, this is totally a non sequitur, but
do you think that men actually get more attractive as they get older, or are we just getting older so older men are more attractive to us because younger men look like children? Any thoughts?
Wait, I want to clarify. So are you saying, like, older men now are more attractive than older men of the past? Like, are they getting more attractive?
Oh, well, that's definitely true. But, no, what I'm saying is, like, the whatever, cliche, I guess is the right word, where they say, like, men get more attractive as they get older. I mean, you've heard that, right?
Yeah.
so is that actually true? Because I've been like, oh yeah, that's kind of true. But or is it just that I'm getting older too, so like I'm attracted to an older
I understand.
look?
I understand. Okay.
Good, because I basically just repeated exactly what I said before, so was not clarifying at all.
Fair, but you answered my question, so that's what helps.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I think that, because I thought about this, like, because yes, absolutely, my, like, age, like, of attraction has, like, continued to age up as I age, which makes perfect sense, because but I'm not entirely sure what's happening that allows this to occur. You know what I mean? Because obviously, like, men that I'm attracted to now, I would not have been attracted to, like, when I was 21.
Right.
I mean, some of them, yeah. But
It's true.
like Pedro Pascal, like.
Oh yeah, you're a big. What are his people called?
I actually don't know.
I don't either.
Does he have?
Does he not have
I don't know.
a name? I feel like he
I
has
mean, he's
to.
the internet daddy.
He is the internet daddy. So you guys his children?
Wrong kind of internet daddy.
I know. I just wanted to give you the ick. Because I'm nice like that.
But I feel like at 21, I still would have, like, had a crush on Pedro Pascal.
Everybody has a crush on him.
Yeah, I mean, 21-year-olds now do, so I feel like that's not a controversial opinion.
I also think, like, with the internet, it's like you get, there's like more of a bandwagon, and so like if everywhere on the internet says like that this person is super hot,
right,
then you're gonna think that because
I mean, John Slattery's been super hot since I was in my 20s.
John Slattery must bathe in the blood of infants because he looks the same as he did when he was on Sex and the City like 45 years ago.
Yeah, but he's always kind of, with that white hair, he's always kind of looked like an older guy. And has always
had a thing for sure.
Yeah. I ran into him when Marty was a puppy. I was walking him in, like, the West Village, Tribeca area.
Me about this.
And I was, like, watching the dog, because he's a puppy and, like, gonna get stepped on because he was so tiny. And then another dog came up, so I, like, hadn't even looked up yet, and then, we were kind of, like, talking to each other, but I was still looking at the dogs, and then I looked up, and it was John Slattery, and I was just like, ah. And then I saw him the next day riding his bicycle as I was walking to work, and I was like, ah.
Like, it's meant to be.
I've seen him twice. Obviously, we're destined.
Missed connection.
Yeah. Is he married?
I don't know.
Pedro Pascal is not married.
There you go.
There you go.
Not yet. Hasn't met you little stalker. I'm gonna, like, take him down.
Like, tag him in the video, be like, Pedro.
Yeah.
He likes that. I saw that he looked stuff up about himself.
Oh yeah.
When he did that.
Oh yeah, the like lie detector test.
Yeah, he likes that stuff.
Like follows.
So adorable.
It's really cute. How can you not love Pedro Pascal?
This is now. I don't not love him. I do. I'm just saying, of the two of us, you're more of a fangirl.
I am a fangirl of Pedro Pascal. I shouldn't say this because now he's not gonna like me. I haven't really even watched that much of his stuff. I
know. You have to watch the second Kingsman movie.
Oh yeah,
because he's a daddy in that for sure.
You know what I was flipping around and caught was, I think it's called The Wall. It has Matt Damon in it, and
I don't even know what this is.
It's like loose, like they're at the great. I don't know. I was caught 5 minutes of it, but Pedro Pascal's in it. So I stopped and started watching, and Matt Damon, and it's the Great Wall of China being attacked by dragons or some sort of mythical, very teethy creatures.
What is this movie? I don't even know.
I didn't know it existed. I was just at first I thought it was going to be historical because it felt very historical period kind of drama. And then all of a sudden I looked up again and it was kind of you know what they were like? Do you remember that movie Tremors?
I don't like the horror thing.
I
but
know.
I remember that it came out.
With Kevin Bacon, a young Kevin Bacon, and I don't remember any else of the cast, but definitely some record. Oh God, Reba McEntire's in it.
Oh my God, hilarious.
Yeah.
She's the new judge on The Voice.
I know, it kind of makes me want to watch it.
I love Reba.
I do too.
Who doesn't love a saucy, country redhead?
There you go. But yeah, there were these creatures in Tremors, and that's what was attacking the Great Wall of China. We were talking about earlier, other writing partners and their technique.
Yeah.
I remember when I was an intern, I used to sit outside Lowell Gans and Babalu Mandel's office.
Right.
Who are two comedy writers who have written everything.
Yeah.
And they used to have this giant desk that they would sit across from each other and basically just make each other laugh and hand write their scripts on legal pads. And they had the sweetest assistant, Rose. She was this older woman.
Type up shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. She had been with them since the beginning of time. They're just been in Hollywood forever, and they're amazing.
Right.
But yeah, that was just what they, because it started out she was typing them on typewriters.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so
they're even older than we are.
Yeah. And yeah, they just how they just stuck with their process from the beginning of time.
I mean, whatever works, right?
Yeah, and it did. It worked, and it was just fun to sit outside their office because they would just be cracking jokes to come up with dialogue or bits or whatever it was that they were working on.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's a whole nother level of I feel we would need
sharing
a third. Yeah, we'd need a third person to help us get that off the legal paths into that. Actually would be really nice.
Yeah. So when you write with it's much harder to write without you than with you, because you hit that block and it's just. But no, I was thinking of starting your note card thing. I'm halfway through this script and I've hit this block, and so maybe if I
reverse engineer
and get more and also just even from what's in my head, kind of maybe, because I haven't looked at it in a while, so incorporate all the different things. Maybe don't look at it and just try and write how many note cards I remember.
That's an interesting
scenes that I remember.
It's kind of combining this with the Taika Waititi.
Yeah, but light.
Yeah.
It's the Diet Coke version.
Yeah. Taika, we love you, but that's terrifying.
I know. You're a braver man than I. But hey,
it's fucking working for him.
Yeah,
so.
obviously I should just suck it up and try it. Obviously it worked for your mom too. I mean, not that you want to, again, do
Not
that
that
with
she
a
did it on
novel,
purpose.
but hey, it worked. Apparently it fucking works. So I should just suck it up, buttercup,
Yeah.
try it. I do like the note card method, like the, I don't know, more traditional way of like after you write the script, then turning each scene into a note card that you can kind of like put up on a giant bulletin board and just like be able to like look and see and then just like swap scenes, and it's a really good way when you're like starting the editing process.
It
to
also
kind of, like,
would be very, very helpful in any pre-production.
yes. Oh yes. Super helpful. I mean,
So Final Draft now, which is like the script writing software.
Yeah.
Now you just like click a button and it does all of that for you.
oh yeah, it's gotten really,
It's
really
really good.
smart. Yeah. It's kind of really exciting for filmmakers starting out. They just even for us. I mean, we're elder millennials, but
Excuse me while I go take my Advil.
just kidding. But even, I mean, we've seen it like when we were coming up in college or just out of college, like the digital was like really just starting out.
Yeah.
It was still a lot of like mini DV tapes, and
The first thing we ever shot, we shot on a mini DV tape.
yeah, we shot several things on mini DV. I shot several things on mini DV tapes.
I don't know if I shot several, but I did.
Yeah, I shot several things.
And it was HD
Oh,
DV
yeah.
tapes. Was
Yes,
like
that
the
was
whole thing.
The big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had to figure out like trying to get the mini DV tapes like
Digitized.
digitized so you could do that. And then we were exporting, not even to stream, to DVDs.
Yeah, burning it onto DVDs. I have a CD burner, like a DVD burner.
Yeah, because and now everything is just like the writing software, the editing software, like there are apps for everything now. There's just so much accessibility, and even the professional stuff, they've made it so accessible to everybody that you don't have to be, like it used to be, you had to be on a big feature studio project to get access to
A lot of stuff.
a lot
yeah.
of the things, and now it's really accessible to really anybody. Obviously different price points, but
Right.
I
but
think
you
for
got the money, you can get pretty much whatever you want now.
yeah, and I think for especially like just get on my soapbox here, but like for kids in college, like take use of those student IDs and like buy the software.
all the stuff right before you graduate,
Like-
because
like
let me tell you,
let that be what you do with your
expensive.
graduation money, because you're going to save so much in the long run, and you're going to
Yeah.
use it. And all the software, like I'm working on a really old version of Final Draft, and I do need to update, but it still works. We can still send things back and forth with sometimes there's a little hiccup.
But I mean,
But
I
it's-
was using one that was 12 years old. I
Yeah.
think yours is newer than mine.
Yeah, but barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an exciting time and I mean, this is going a little off topic, but
What? We never do that.
like at all, ever. What's happening with the industry right now, and like the fight with the studios and AMPTP, and I think we're just seeing like a shift in the landscape of filmmaking, and the fact that on top of that, it's really so accessible and easy to get out there and tell your story.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really interesting to see, like, as the strike continues and as more like Neon and A24, these smaller independent production companies are given allowances to make movies, what's going to happen. Well, and here's the thing, like, I've seen a lot of TikTokers who are union or who maybe want to be in the union,
Yeah.
who are being very outspoken and letting you know that, like, if you're a scab, like, you can't join the union after that. If you do scab work, you're blacklisted from the union.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there are consequences to the behavior. It's not just like, oh, I just did it, and like if you do scab work, yeah, you're
done.
You're done. And some people don't care about that. There are plenty of like
Right.
influencers now who just
Don't care.
and that's never a goal. But there are a lot of influencers who are even non-union who are still obviously in support of the strike, saying
Yeah.
that that's still SCAD behavior, and even if you
Can't.
don't want to be in the union,
Like, you still shouldn't do
you're
it.
still like it's just gross.
Yeah.
Like, union busting is gross, especially in, I mean, this is a whole other topic, but especially in today's age, like, it's corporations, it's a giant corporation against laborers.
Yeah.
Like, let's not confuse any issues here. This isn't like actors versus producers. This is a corporation
Versus a union.
versus a union of laborers.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and everything's striking now.
yeah, the auto union's about to strike.
Yeah, tomorrow, I think.
I think they're gonna call it tomorrow.
Everybody's
Yeah.
out there. I mean, our country's everybody's just, like, so fed up. Like, we're just, like, burn it down!
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we like made it through quarantine and COVID, and we were like, wait a minute, this is fucked. Like,
Yeah.
we have been going about this all wrong.
Yeah.
Like, things need to change. Did you see there was some Australian prick who went on television on, I don't know, it was recorded, so with a microphone.
Moron.
Yep. Stop giving men microphones. Have you seen that woman who sings the song "Stop Giving Men Microphones"?
No, but
Oh my
I
God.
want to.
Yes, well, I will find that for you.
Okay.
She's great.
We should link that.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Okay.
She's great. You'll love her. I wish I could remember her name right now. Another redhead. So there you go.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
We speak the truth.
Yes. So, anyway, this fucking Australian got this microphone,
Okay.
and I'm not even going to do it justice. It's that bad. He basically went on to say how, like, more people need to become unemployed so they can know their place, essentially.
Ugh.
Yeah. And it went on and on for, like, 8 minutes, and it was just such disgusting trash. And luckily people are, of course, being like, look at this asshole and the dumb shit that's flying out of his mouth.
I can't.
I
can't even. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just so gross.